In this segment of APA Insights, the focus is on how to cite reference components. The material covered is found in paragraphs 6.27, 6.28, 6.29, and 6.30, pages 184 through 187 in the Publication Manual of the American Psychological Association. In general, a reference should contain the author name, date of publication, title of work, and publication date. In this module, we will address how to cite those areas. The objectives for this segment are to review the rules for how to cite reference components, followed by an opportunity to apply the material that has been covered. For authors and editors, I will review the most commonly encountered rules. For less common applications, please refer to paragraph 6.27 on page 184. When listing authors, invert their names and list them by surname and initials for up to and including 7 authors. If there are authors with the same last name and first initial, spell out the first name. Use commas to separate authors, surnames, and initials. With 2 to 7 authors, use an ampersand before the last author. Let's now look at an example. Our first example shows more than 2 authors listed by last name, initial, separated by commas, and containing an ampersand before the last name. The second example shows how you would cite 2 authors with the same last name and same first initial. Note that the full first name is enclosed in brackets. In reference to an edited book, place editors' names in the author position if no author is listed. Enclose the abbreviation capital ED period or capital EDS period in parentheses after the last editor's name. If referencing a chapter in an edited book, invert the chapter author's name, but not the book editor's name. The editor's name is preceded by in. In the first example, where there is no author, you replace author with editor, using the same rules as author citation. In the second example, you are citing a chapter in an edited book, so the authors are listed according to the usual format, and the editors are listed after the name of the chapter, in regular, not inverse order. Note the use of in before the editors' names. For books or journal articles, place the year the work was published in parentheses after the author's name. For magazines, newspapers, or newsletters, give the year and the exact publication date. For papers and posters at meetings, give the year and month of the meeting, and if you have no date, enclose N period D period in parentheses where the date would normally go. Let's look at our examples. For a book, you see our author's name, initials, and publication date, followed by a period. For a magazine, you will see the same order, except that the date includes the month. If a day is available, include it as well. When citing an article or chapter title, you capitalize only the first word of the title and any proper nouns. No italics or quotation marks. In our example, only "the" is capitalized, since it's the first word of the title. When citing a periodical, like a journal, newsletter, or magazine, you cite the periodical title in full, using upper and lowercase letters and italics. In our example, unlike a book, article, or chapter title, the letters of the journal name use upper and lowercase letters. For non-periodical titles like books and reports, capitalize only the first word of the title and proper nouns. The entire title is italicized, and any additional identifying information is included in non-italics finished with a period. Let's look at our example. Notice the capitalization of development as the first word and the term CDC as a proper noun, and the inclusion of the identifying information. For periodicals like journals, newsletters, and magazines, place the volume number in italics after the periodical title. You should include the journal issue number, not in italics, and page numbers, also not in italics. Let's look at our example. Here we see the title of our journal, followed by the volume number, issue number in parentheses, and page numbers. For books and reports, list the location of the publisher as city, followed by state or country if non-United States. States are abbreviated to the 2-letter postal code with a colon between the state abbreviation and the publisher, as you see in our examples. In the first example, New York is the city, NY is the state, and McGraw-Hill is the publisher, followed by a period. For your reference, all of these guidelines are covered in the APA Style Guide, 6th edition, paragraphs 6.27, 6.28, 6.29, and 6.30, pages 184 through 187. Now a brief exercise will be distributed to check your understanding of the use of citation of reference components.